Hi, I'm Rosebean and I like to draw. And you know what I like to draw? Sonic characters. And I also like D&D, so let's draw them together. I will be doing 3 characters including Kitty from this video. First up is Rouge the Rogue. A rogue is someone who has mastered the art of infiltration and theft. It fits her too perfectly and I just couldn't help myself. I really wanted to use her magenta color somewhere, so I put that in the gems of her earrings and boots. Her hair is also a little different. It's a bit longer and tapers down. I did have some trouble picking the colors, but overall it's pretty much the same palette as her original. Magenta, black, white, and cream. My version of her that I'm drawing is definitely a fruit bat. You'll just see her hanging from the roof eating like 20 papayas. And she does steal jewels and riches, but in her spare time, she'll steal her favorite fruits: blood orange, starfruit, and mangosteen. I didn't show her wings in the drawing because she probably has them folded up and tucked behind her belt. And she is holding a Chaos Emerald gem. I don't know, maybe they exist in this world, maybe they don't. I actually made this drawing second, but I'm showing this one first because it turned out okay. It's definitely not my best work, but she was really easy to draw and she only took like 20 minutes to make. And I really like her triangle eye shines. They just feel very on point with her character. Here's the final product. Now it's everybody's favorite boy. I made Shadow a sorcerer because a sorcerer gets their magic from having a magical bloodline. And kind of spoilers, but his DNA was extracted from an evil space demon thing, and that's where he gets his power from. I did change up his markings a little bit to have more texture to them. I don't know why I did it, but it looks really cool. He doesn't actually have jet boots, but I do think he could enchant them temporarily to have some sort of feather falling or flight effect to them, and he definitely got these custom made from Rouge, or custom stolen. As far as personality, he's a bit more stuck up and I'm better than you energy. He thinks very highly of himself and he's a little offended when somebody doesn't know who he is. But overall, very composed and regal. I was fighting so hard not to make this just a Team Dark as D&D video, but I really didn't want to draw Omega and he would have felt very out of place. By the way, look at this super cool sticker I got. It's my absolute favorite. I forgot to say it in her part, but Rouge would be chaotic good and Shadow would be neutral good. But as far as magic, he would probably use teleportation magic to work like a Chaos Emerald and use Fireball upon his enemies. But if he does run out of spells, he'd be able to fight with hand-to-hand combat. You may have noticed, but in this drawing of him, he is using some Eldritch Blast. I really like it when I draw him with much more brown eyes, and this was no exception. They just make his red accents pop really well instead of doing red on red on red. But oh my gosh, his outfit took so long, I just couldn't find the right color combo, and it took forever, so I just cut it out of the video. His eye shines also have some of the spiky texture, just like his markings, and I'm just now realizing I didn't do his arm or leg markings. Oh well. His design I did last because it came to me last, and this one I'm much more proud of than Rouge. But my final design is the one I'm most excited for, and here's his final design. This is my OC, Kitty the cat, and I'll drop some lore here while I draw. Kitty is actually a creation of Mephiles the Dark, who you saw in the video that I mentioned at the beginning. He created her completely by accident, but he grew too attached, and here she is. But one day the timelines kinda got messed up, and he technically doesn't exist anymore. At least that's what she thinks. And now she lives with Sonic and friends trying to cope with the loss. She is very silly, and the expression that I drew with her is 100% just her personality. She'll just stare you down with not a thought in her head, but she also has a strange power. Basically, all the matter that makes up her entire body can turn into anything she wants. For example, she often flattens out her arms and curves them a bit to turn into wings, and she'll take her tail off and use it as a back scratcher. But now to the actual D&D part, she's a druid, and a druid is someone who has an important magical connection to nature. I made her druid because after Mephiles disappeared, she lived in the forest on her own for a couple of years, and she's pretty good at survival, even though she's technically not alive to begin with. So in the drawing, she has her hair pulled back into a small ponytail and mismatched earrings because she scavenges like a crow. I almost gave her a little wand made out of bone, but to draw it would have been too intricate for my style. As far as her alignment, she's definitely a chaotic neutral, and she isn't the most loyal. She just likes to follow people around and then gets bored and goes back home, and the cycle repeats itself. Unlike a real cat, she really loves the tastes of lemons and other citrus, so she'll purposely grow her own with her magic, and she eats them like an apple, just straight up bites, and everybody is horrified. But to her, lemons are barely sour. She does not exactly have a good sense of taste, but she has an excellent sense of hearing and smell. Druids also have an ability called Wild Shape, and Wild Shape allows the user to transform into any animal, and depending on how powerful they are, the more powerful animals they can have. Now, she has this ability, but it's slightly messed up. When she tries to wild shape, her shapes are usually sticky and black and kind of half melting, but the more powerful she becomes, the easier they are to control and hold. I really like the way this one came out. The poncho is just something I really like to draw, and overall, the colors I think were the best. I actually do this one first, and then rouge, and then shadow, and then I was so close to making Omega, but I didn't feel like drawing him. This was really fun, and I hope to do a part 2 soon. Here's the final product, and thanks for watching.